I want to tell you my full story today. Not the polished version, not the highlight reel, the actual story, including the part where I was in my bathroom crying over a number on a scale and genuinely wondering if this was just going to be my life. Because I think the reason most testimonies don't actually land the way they should is because we skip over the messy middle. We go straight from I was struggling to, and then everything changed. So if you're in the middle of the messy part, that gap feels impossible. It feels like the transformation happened to someone else who's luckier or more disciplined or more spiritually together than you. But I'm going to show you there's no gap. I'm going to show you every step because across 2 pregnancies and in 18 months, I lost 75 pounds. No gym, no diet plan, no trainer, and no magic supplement. Just a biblical framework I created out of desperation and then built into a system so other women could do the same thing. That's what we're talking about today. Welcome back to Pump Up the Praise. I'm Tiffany, and this channel exists because of the story I'm about to tell you. If you've been watching the videos in this series so far, you've heard me reference this journey piece by piece. Today, I'm going to put it all together, the whole thing, start to finish. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you how you can use the same framework for yourself. So let's get into it. I want to start with something specific. Not I was just generally struggling with my weight. I want to give you the actual picture. After my second pregnancy, I was carrying significant postpartum weight. I didn't recognize my body, and I remember looking in the mirror and genuinely feeling like a stranger was looking back at me. It was like my body didn't belong to me, and I just felt frustrated and sad because on one hand, I'm supposed to be so grateful for my body's ability to carry life, but on the other hand, I was unrecognizable. And the hardest moment for me came when I would go to my closet and I couldn't fit anything. Even the new clothes that I bought a few sizes up, they still didn't fit. And just trying to leave the house, go anywhere, or be seen by anyone was so hard and difficult in that season because I felt invisible and misunderstood. And I want to say something about that feeling because I think it's important. It wasn't just physical discomfort, it was deeper than that. There was this quiet, heavy grief for the woman I used to feel like, for the ease I used to have in my body, for the confidence that was just gone somewhere else. And underneath all of it was this fear. What if this just is who I am now? And I want to be honest about something I don't hear many people in the faith and fitness space really talk about. I felt spiritually disconnected from this area of my life. I loved God. I prayed. I showed up at church. I served. But my body and my struggle with it felt completely separate from my faith. Like faith was for the spiritual things of my life and my body was more of a practical problem that I needed to fix on my own, which meant I was trying to fix it entirely in my own strength. And I just kept failing, not because I wasn't trying, but because I was working with the wrong tools, the wrong motivation, and the wrong foundation. The turning point didn't come from some new program, but it came from exhaustion. I was so tired of the cycle, so tired of starting and stopping, so tired of hating myself every time I fell off that I just stopped. I got quiet. I brought this area to God, and I did it in a way I never had before. Not, God, please help me with more discipline kind of way, and not, God, please make this workout work, but genuinely, Lord, I don't know how to do this. I've been trying to figure this out alone and it's not working. I need your help in this. And what came out of that prayer was not a meal plan, it was a reframe. I started to really understand, not intellectually, but in my bones, that my body was not my enemy. It was not a project to fix. It was not evidence of my failure, but it was a temple, a home that God chose to live in. And the way I was treating it, the way I was talking about it, thinking about it, and fighting with it was not how you treat something precious. That reframe changed my motivation completely. And motivation is everything. I stopped trying to lose the weight out of shame and desperation, and I started taking care of my body out of gratitude and stewardship. And while those might sound like the same action, they're not the same experience, and they do not produce the same results. So what did I actually do? I want to walk you through what that looks like. I call it the praise way because every letter represents a step in the journey. And I want to briefly walk you through each one of those steps because I want you to see that this is not a complicated system at all. It's not an overwhelming program. It's actually very simple. What makes it powerful is the order and the foundation it's built on. P is for pray with purpose. I started every single day, before food, before the workout, before I checked my phone, with intentional prayer, specifically about my body and my health. Not generic prayer, specific, targeted prayer about what I was believing about myself, what I was trusting God with, and what I was surrendering. Prayer became the anchor for everything else. When I skipped it, I could notice. The day just felt different. The choices felt harder. R is for renew your mind. This is Romans 12:2 in practice. Every lie I had been believing about my body, and there is where it started. I had to write it down and replace it with specific scripture. Lies like I'll always be this size with I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Lies like I'm too far gone. Replace it with truths like he who began a good work in me will carry it to completion. This was not positive affirmations. This was spiritual warfare against beliefs that had been running unchallenged for years, and it worked. A is for align with God's design. This is where I got practical, but starting from the right question, not what diet should I follow, but more like how did God design my specific body to work, and what does honoring it look like in this season? This meant paying attention to how different foods made me feel, how different kinds of movement made me feel, and what rest actually meant for my body, and making choices that aligned with what I was learning, not rules from external programs. I is for implement spirit-led habits. Small, sustainable, Holy Spirit guided rhythms, not a rigid plan I was forcing myself to follow, but things like drink more water, move for 20 minutes, sleep, eat more real food and less processed food, rest on purpose. None of these were dramatic. All of them were compounded. S is for strengthen through scripture and sweat. And this is where the praise dance came in. I started combining movement with worship music and dance. And what happened in those sessions was not just physical. It was spiritual. It was emotional. And I would start a workout and come out having processed grief and having experienced breakthrough and having connected with God in a meaningful way that inside of a gym would never produce for me. The workouts became something that I honestly looked forward to, not something that I dreaded. And E is for endure with joy. This is the long game, the part that didn't come from a fitness plan, but from community, from accountability, from having women around me doing the same work, from celebrating small wins, from learning to extend myself grace when I stumbled instead of spiraling. This is where the 75 pounds happened. not in dramatic transformation, in the steady, faithful, grace-covered accumulation of days. And I remember the day I realized I had lost a significant amount of weight because the jeans were finally fitting and I could actually button them up. And realizing that I hadn't even been tracking, I had just been living differently. That was when I knew this was different. And I'm sharing all of it because I want you to see something clearly. I'm not a fitness instructor. I'm not a nutritionist. I did not have a trainer or a coach or special genetic advantage. I am a Christian woman who got desperate enough to stop trying to fix this in my own strength and let God into the one area I had been keeping him out of. And the result was 75 pounds gone across 2 pregnancies in 18 months. I built the Praise Way because when I was in the middle of this, when I needed something that combined real practical health strategies with a genuine faith foundation, it didn't exist. I had to build it piece by piece. And you don't have to do that. I've already built the roadmap. All you have to do is walk it. The Praise Way is a 12-week course that takes you through every step I just described with guided lessons, workbooks, worship workouts, a devotional, and a community of women doing it with you. And you have me in your corner the whole way to encourage you. Before you even think about the course, I want to give you the foundation for free. I want you to watch my Temple Strong training at thepraiseway.com. It walks you through the core of this framework for free. Right now, no strings, it's just a great place to start. And when you're ready to go all the way, the Praise Way will be waiting. Let me leave you with the thing I want you to carry out of this video. You are not too far gone. You have not failed too many times. You are not just someone who can't do this. You are a woman who has been trying to run a race in the wrong shoes, with the wrong map, and without the most important partner you have available to you. You have a God who designed your body, lives in your body, and wants to partner with you in taking care of your body. Not as a taskmaster waiting for you to fail, but as a father who is with you. The Praise Way is what it looks like when you actually let him in. And I cannot wait to see what he does in you. Before I started my temple stewardship journey, I wish that someone would have told me that I don't need to be perfect. I don't have to have it all together. I don't even need to have any equipment. I just need to show up faithfully and partner with Jesus and watch my life be changed forever. Drop a comment below and tell me what part of this story felt the most like yours. I want to know. I read every comment and I want to encourage you on your journey. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, please share this video with her. You might be the reason she finally finds the thing that changes everything in her life. I'll see you on the inside. Keep praising. Be blessed.